next time, man, I'll either use this microphone or I'll have these PCBs not in my office.
You're hopeful there's a next time.
Oh, fuck you.
All right, so these questions are the questions that were grabbed from chat from the bot.
I only see like 6 of them.
4.
Oh, wow.
And also, somebody's asking about Cox. So, all right, first question comes from Gamers for Life. How did you get into building keyboards? So you kind of told that story about how you got into. Did you get into building keyboards with the plan of starting a company, or
No.
Okay?
Not at all. The first keyboard I built was a Tada 68, which is from Keyboard Fans, and you only have to solder this. So it wasn't like some crazy. I mean, it was bad for me, like because I just can't solder for shit. But that was the first thing I did, and that was before I had a store or I had anything. And then I started paying more attention and like looking at the artisans, and my wife was looking, and she was like, I bet I could, paint or do something like on a keycap. So we just messed around with that. And then, I built keyboards. I built probably a couple before I thought like, you know what, this is a pain in the ass because everything's so expensive. I'm not even sure I'm in this hobby like for life at this point. Like it's hard. And even the Tada 68, which is like $120, I think, with the like aluminum, or not the aluminum, metal case. Even like I didn't do the plastic one, I did the I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of money for a keyboard, man. And and little did I know that
not even the tip of the iceberg. It was
some of the like Korean custom out there are like several $1,000s.
Insane.
That's not even a key set or anything. That's just the actual like case and board.
Right. One of the I don't know if it was I think it was the first mechanical board that I bought was a DOS keyboard Ultimate, the one that had the blank keycaps. And I remember that was $140, and I thought that was an insane amount of money for a keyboard.
It kind of is, isn't it though?
It is. It is. And then after that, I spent $170 on my Corsair K70. It was when blues were in shortage. Do you remember that? When Sherry MX blues had a shortage? Okay. No. There was this weird shortage that Corsair specifically, I don't know if it was all keyboard brands, but Corsair, it was very hard to get a Corsair board with blues. And then randomly, like one week, they're like, oh, by the way, we happen to get like 100 Corsair K70s with blue switches. So they're special edition. It could have been a huge marketing scheme just to sell them very expensive. But I grabbed one of those. It was like $180 shipped or something. But I love that keyboard. I still have it. Actually, my girlfriend uses it. And
it's funny you say that because a lot of people dump on you for that board.
Right. The elitists.
Well, if you're going to name groups. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's no different than like the membrane thing. Like, just because you have one doesn't mean like, so what? Is that the end of the world? Like,
right. And what's so wrong about the K70? It's a beautiful black beauty that glows.
Is that the one? Does it have the weird bottom row? Like the keys are different sizes?
Yeah.
See, that's the only thing that bothers me. And that's the same thing with like HHKBs and stuff like I like the bottom row the way it is, and I don't want like longer keys or
missing key completely.
Well, I never understood that. That makes no sense. That's just
I don't either.
And you sacrifice function makes no sense.
I agree.
What is it? Function over form? Yeah, for sure. But it's there's definitely, and I was alluding to this earlier, like there's groups, and like in anything, there's elitist sport fans, there's elitist there's 100% elitist like esport fans. Like
oh yes.
Even in my little stint of watching like CS:GO, like ESL or whatever, I was like, you could tell just how it was.
Yep.
So no, I don't. What was the original question? Why did I get into keyboards?
How did you get into building keyboards?
So it was just the Tada 68, and I thought it was cool because it was smaller than a full size, and I never use a numpad anyway, like most people.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what, I need the arrow keys for sure because I use those in Photoshop, and then I just remapped the right side, which is like home, page up, page down by default, to some stuff for Photoshop. So like that plus a macro pad, and I was good. and that's how it started. And then I think the next board I did was like I got a Magic Force 68 because everyone does
Right.
mostly,
Yeah.
and
Not
I
me.
destroyed that board. I tried to desolder the switches immediately.
Like you bought it and then went to
Yeah.
desolder it.
That I bought it with I was gonna desolder it, and I was gonna put the programmable PCB which we carry, the or Kibio has one too, the Tragic Force, and
Okay.
swap the PCB and do the whole thing. I thought I was like, oh, I soldered it. I'm good. I can do it now. And desoldering is just a whole nother
Dude, it's so fucking difficult.
I've never desoldered a Pro Micro successfully. I break them all the time, and I don't even care. I don't feel bad anymore.
I had to pick up we call it the Suckmaster, but it's the Heiko FR 301.
You have that?
Yep.
Is it as good as I think?
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Even for like Pro Micros and stuff?
Yep. The only thing is for the pins have to be short enough for the nozzle to get around because the pins are so close together.
Yeah, and that's a problem because I cut my pins really low because I like to keep the board low profile as possible most times.
So yeah, if you're trimming it, then it's no problem at all. But it's just, dude, having a vacuum pump just wow. And sometimes I fucked myself on one of the most recent boards that I built. I used a lead-free solder. It was Kester. It was Kester lead-free solder.
Why?
Dude, I didn't know.
It's bad.
I soldered it, and then I went to go desolder it, and I burnt every single solder point on that board.
It's very hard to desolder lead-free. You have to have like one of those variable control ones that let you go very high, and even then you're like PCB up. You're gonna Charizard that shit easily. And I've done my fair share of that, like that Magic Force, and like, you know, I fucked it up right away, like right away. And so I was like, all right, well, I might as well like use this to learn something. So then I like was testing different methods to like desolder and solder, and I still have the case, which ultimately is actually fine because that's what I was trying to get to, so I could put another PCB in. I just haven't done it yet.
It's all worked out.
It kind of. I wasn't expecting like to have broken it literally the first day, but because there's like a little it's like a little battery or something. Oh no, you know what that was? My third keyboard was an RK61 Royal Klug, and I also broke that one immediately.
God damn, Josh.
It was a rough ride. It was that same DOS keyboard you had that I did not ruin. I traded it, but yeah, and these boards I had before SpaceCat, I ever thought about it. And then like after spending money and breaking things, I was like, you know what? This sucks. Like there needs to be a way like that I can get some of this stuff, you know, in America, like so I don't have to wait 30 days to get everything.
That's the other thing too is
like I know there's an upcharge. It's just kind of how business is, and I have to do it too. And it is what it is, but like it sucks when you mess something up. You've been waiting for it and you mess it up, and then you got to wait like 30 plus days or whatever to get it back. And another reason too that I don't do the expensive while we're talking about it is because I'm too scared, man. That's
right.
Like, even when I was doing the Scarlet Bandana, there was a couple of the Kale swaps that like had broken off during transit, and so I had to resolder them, and I'm like fucking sweating on this board because I'm so scared that like this is like my one shot at this like hundreds of $1 board. You get one shot, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then
it's just like a glutton for punishment, and it worked out. It worked out fine because at that point I was better at it, but that was, I mean, that's why, because I wanted there to be like if someone was like, oh, I only need like 10 diodes or 50 diodes or whatever, they could just grab them from my store. And like,
even if they buy 10, you send them 50 anyways.
To be honest with you, that the diode thing I don't count, man. I have like, so I have these boxes and they're full of diodes and they pull down, and I have like a thing notched where I'm like, all right, I'll pull it down to here and I cut it. And I know it's way more than 50.
I have so many diodes from you.
They're so cheap. It's like, I don't mind and I'll do that a lot too. Like, especially things like if someone's talking to me ahead of time about a build and I know they're nervous or something, like with the launch pads, I tend to try to throw more than one reset button in there because they're hard to solder.
Fuck those things.
Yeah, and I've had multiple people be like, "Thank you for putting like 6 in there," because I went through all 6, and like they're just so cheap that it's like I might as well. Like, and it probably saves me like some customer service time and gets me goodwill, but mostly it's like
Absolutely.
just to make it easier.
Right.
Like, I don't want someone to have to go through a whole bunch of shit for a 30-cent reset button. Like,
Yep.
and honestly, that's one of the big ones I get is like they for launch pads, like the reset button is a big issue because it sucks to put on there. I
Dude, and
skip it. You don't need it, by the way. If you're watching, you don't have to put that on.
right, the Pro Micro has the two that pins that you can bridge.
Or you can use an Elite C and it has a reset button on it.
For sale on SpaceCat.design. And even just like, oh, okay, I broke this switch. Let me Google it. Keyboard reset switch. What the fuck am I like? You don't even know what to search for,
Right,
and
the
that's half
part
the battle
number.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so so that's the story. I mean, I just wanted it to be a little accessible, and then just kind of grow. Like I love looking like through the sites like Taobao and stuff like that because there's so much cool shit on there that's not over here yet. And I love if I can be like the first one to bring like those things like in a domestic setting, like yeah, it's good for me, but it's also like it's cool for me too because I get to like play with things that other people don't have. Like
Absolutely.
to be honest with you.
Yep.
So that's like one of my favorite parts is to just like browse these like stores like I have bookmarked, and I can't speak Chinese or read Chinese, but I have it like I know the links that I need to. I know this one's like new releases, and I know this one's like sort by alphabetical or price, and so I have all that set up, and like I do get a lot of people like asking for proxy help with that kind of stuff, and
of course
I don't mind that either helping because like when I was learning it, I was hitting the mechanical keyboard Discord hard like. What does this mean? What does this mean? And they were very helpful. So
that's what can make or break a hobby is those first moments getting into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if it was someone like "fuck you," you Buffalo cunt, like get out of here.
Hey, Buffalo cunt, why don't you use your keyboard to control your mouse like the rest of us?
Yeah. What's that membrane doing there? You
Christ. Next question, also from gamers: is it hard getting into building keyboards?
No, it's not hard to get into it. It's hard to do it right. Like,
yeah,
because like I said, I was real gung ho. It was real easy to buy the boards, but it was also real easy to fuck them up.
Yep.
And so I think that's and this again, you mentioned it like with the launch pad. Like that's why I would recommend anyone, and not even a launch. There's a ton of macro pads out. Get anyone you want.
There's really not though.
Well, okay.
Budget for like the Launchpad and the Sweet 16 are like the only cheap kind of all-in-one kits that I think are starter friendly.
I'll take it. I mean,
yeah, because believe me, I fucking searched, and like the companies that I did find, who I won't name, don't even fucking respond to their emails or anything.
There is one. I know what you're talking about. I think I got you, but yeah, they don't. And that's another thing. Like I take customer service pretty serious. Like I might not always get to you right away, but when I get to you, it's going to be, I will have done my homework on it because I just feel like it's easier to solve the problems like the first time than bullshit someone and like just drag it. Like a lot of people do that too. And it's like, why are you doing this? Just if you can help. And if you can't, I'll straight up say, look, I have no fucking, I don't know what you did. It seems fine, but I'm not holding it. You can send it to me if you want, but like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix it. And then
like I just did with my Elite C. Like, I think I fucked this one up.
Listen, those things are so small to solder. It's the worst. But
so much in such a small amount of space.
But if you ever watch Google, like, or go on YouTube and watch like fast solders, the people are insane. I'm talking like 32 pins, 4 seconds, like just unbelievable.
Yeah, people are crazy.
I'm not. What's sad about it is I'm not that good at anything in my life.
Right? Doesn't that fucking piss you off?
There's not one thing that I'm that good at in my life, and I'm like, where did it all go wrong?
I think I could probably do a Pro Micro in under 2 minutes, like a minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Well, if you're doing a launch pad, you only have to do half of the pins.
Right. There's only 12, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
that was also part of it because we were like, you're not going to need it. The most someone's going to want to do probably is add RGB strip, which you can still do. You just have to run a wire. I had someone put a speaker on theirs and like a little thing where they can record. So they were using it as like a thing where people like, so when his wife would go to work or when he would go to work, he would like press it, record a message. And then when his wife would get home, she would press another button and it would repeat it to her. So it's actually, that was really cool to see.
I thought he was like, he was going to work and he thought his wife was cheating. So he would just record using his lunch.
No.
That's where I thought you were going with that.
Like an episode of Cheaters, and I come out and I'm like,
oh my God.
What are you doing in this hotel room with that launch pad?
That's actually super cute.
Yeah. I what I really like is seeing what people like. We wanted to make it easy. So we were like, let's take out the pins that you don't need to because it sucks. It sucks to solder them. And like, it'll be easier to desolder if you need to. And then, if there's still enough, like, I don't do PCB design. Like I just communicate my ideas to someone
who can.
Yeah. And so I don't know how it works, but like there's enough voltage on there to support the strip and like apparently a speaker and a fucking recorder thing because the guy did it and pretty cool. And what the original question was, is it hard to get into building them, right? It's not hard to get into it, but I think it's hard to be like very proficient at it.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people who are like willing to like, oh, send me your board, like pay me $40, I'll fix it. I'm not, I would never.
No.
I don't trust myself at all. Like Hibio, like Danny, they got one of the guys on my podcast. He has like a fix service where you can send him your board and he'll fix it. Fuck that. I'm
too much responsibility.
Yeah, and then if you mess it up, you gotta like, and then some of these keyboards you can't replace. Like it's not
right
because they're just not there anymore. And I'm not gonna go. I don't want to have to go and pay $3,000 to because I wanted to make $40 to fix someone's.
Right, you'd have to sign a if this stays broken, it's not my fault clause for me to get onto that.
Like hold harmless or something, which I can't imagine anyone doing. But
right,
yeah. So, but there's a lot of people out there who do that. And I'm like, that good. I'm glad that exists because guess what? If I screw up like my Scarlet bandana, I'm sending it to Danny. Like,
yep, I'm like, shipping it out.
This. Yeah. Like, just so you know, Danny, this is going to arrive in a couple days. I'll pay you when it works.
Next question comes from Dan the Man Fighter. Would you ever consider making your own custom keycap set?
Dan the Man Fighter. I think I know that guy.
You might.
Okay. I think he's in my Discord. So I have to tread lightly. You want a scoop?
Fuck yeah, I want a scoop. Mint chocolate chip, bro.
There is a SpaceCat set being worked on.
Fuck yeah.
And it won't be unaffordable. It will. Is that a word? Unaffordable? It will be affordable.
Yeah, it will be. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Make it easy. Yeah. It will be affordable. I'm sure I'll get like heat for like who I'm working. Like, I know, like the Tally How thing. People get upset because the colors and like all that. And I don't really think it's copying if it's just colors because you can't really copyright colors. If you're stealing like novelty art, then yes, then definitely that happens.
Right.
And so I made sure like I found a factory that I wanted to work with that could do it for a good amount, like so a decent, like a very decent quality set for a very decent price. And I wanted to make sure they had no like with all this crap going around about clones and all this stuff. Like I vetted the shit out of this place. So there is, I'll just say that.
Okay. Awesome.
And yeah, and it's I'll just say it's a good profile.
Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, that's all I needed to hear. Awesome. All right, final question from Big Asian Boy. Do you know who Drew Peacock is?
Drew Peacock.
I feel like saying Drew Peacock or saying Drew Peacock. Drew Peacock.
Drew Peacock.
Yeah, I felt like that was me walking into something.
Yeah, Drew Peacock.
That's a new one.
Yeah, I never heard that one.
I've actually never heard that one,
I
and
was
now I'm
about to
going to steal
Google.
it.
I was about to Google Drew, and then I said it out loud.
I'm actually wondering if you so if you Google that Drew Peacock,
I still have Buffalo open.
Buffalo. Yeah, I don't. Okay,
There's a YouTube channel for Drew Urban Dictionary, aka Drew Peacock.
I see a picture of Fat Bastard from Austin Powers, and it says a caption that says Drew Peacock versus Uganda.
So, yeah.
The fuck?
So this says Drew Peacock, aka Drew Peacock. If you say the name out loud, it is really funny. Great for attendance in class when there is a substitute teacher. Where's Drew Peacock? I have a Drew Peacock on the list. and then the suggested response to the teacher is, and I quote, "Ha, you just said Drew Peacock."
Dude, I am going to, next time I get hauled into like a pyramid scheme, I'm going to write my name down as Drew Peacock. Oh my God, that's fantastic. How have I never heard this?
Yeah, it's a good one because the peacock thing, like it did. I was like, that's something, but right away I didn't connect it to Drew Peacock.
That's fucking great. Oh, that's a good one.